Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Zoom Racing League league race. Yeah, we've kind of missed a couple of these broadcasts here before, but we're coming back for the last one here. Yeah, let me just still setting up everything, making sure everything works well, making sure you guys can hear the cars, making sure I'm not too loud for you guys. Just send anything in the general chat of the Discord if you notice anything wrong with the stream. But yeah, besides that, we're here to race. Yeah, so it's full qualifying Monaco D3, so it's gonna be interesting. I think time should be around the low 110s to maybe high 109s if Ethan, Anan, Joel, and Invia can maybe pull out something. Maybe Kenny LaFleur and Mr. Baby as well. And maybe we'll see something from Ranger as well. You know, there's a lot of guys up here. Even Arrow, to be honest, and Simba, and to be honest, this is a really competitive D3. I said this before, and I said this. My webcam, yeah. Yeah, you guys don't want to see me. I'm ugly. But, yeah, coming in here, Kenny McKeever, which is not Kenny LaFleur, I don't think. Is that Kenny LaFleur? I think that's Kenny LaFleur. He does a 115.7. Not a very competitive lap from Kenny. He's known for being really quick, so maybe just a little bit of a fluke. Yeah, but let's keep on going here. Let's go on to Fitz. You know, Fitz, TP of AlphaTauri gonna be stepping down at the end of the season, but let's see how strong you can finish off the season. Q1 pace. Let's see where Fitz stands. Oh, he's now starting a lap. Sorry. Let's get this data on. Okay, Fitz getting a nice exit onto the Sector 1. A little bit of hesitation through there. Ooh, so that's purple first sector? Gotta check if that's real. Let's check if that purple sector is real. Oh, it is a real purple sector, so he does go purple in the first sector. So Fitz is actually flying right now. Full power second gear. I didn't know Fitz uses TC, but we just exposed him. Everyone, Fitz uses medium traction control. Go after him, but yeah, right now it seems that he's doing a really good lap right now. We'll see what his sector 2 time is. We have a really good idea where he's going to land. So currently he's at 18.82. He's at low battery though, because he forgot to turn off his battery the last lap. Misses the curve there. There's a 34.6. That's currently 7/10 off of the fastest. So his good deeds in the first sector aren't treating him well for the last couple of sectors here. He's not going to have a good exit here because his battery's low, but there should be like a 13, maybe high 12. Oh, there's a low 12. Damn, okay. So Fitz does a low 12 for his Banca lap, which is actually not that bad. Ben also does an 11.6. Very good lap from him. Let's hop on with Arrow real quick. Let's see what he's going to be doing. He's in the Aston Martin. Tabs the wall. Rides that curb. I didn't know people ride that curb. I thought wheels normally have less... Oh, we have 2 Kennys. Oh yeah, I see him now. He's in McLaren. Kenny LaFleur and Kenny McKeever. Yeah, I didn't see that. Oh, and Kenny McKeever is blocking Arrow and takes him out. Unless Kenny McKeever was on a lap here, which he was on a push lap. But I guess Arrow was just that bit faster. So Kenny McKeever kind of blocked Arrow there. Arrow's not going to be a happy camper. Yes, Arrow was the fastest driver on the hot lap, but at the same time, he had to respect that the other driver was also doing his lap. And it was up to the other driver to either concede his lap for safety reasons or, you know, keep on going since he needs a fast time. Oh, wait, 1 second. Okay, so give me just a quick second here, everybody. I'm checking a lot of messages at the moment from everyone sending in stuff. Let me see. Give me 1 second, you guys. Sorry for this pause screen. I need to do something. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 minute. I'm losing a little bit of quality right now, but nothing interesting has too much has happened. Cagnes has went second place actually. Bebeto got third, and I got disconnected. Excuse me. 1 second, guys. We're having some technical difficulties. What? Hi everyone, welcome back. Sorry about that. Just had a little bit of technical difficulties right there, but we're back into it. We're not slowing down here. So coming into the Q1 so far, Arrow is actually fastest of Q1 right now. No surprises there. I mean, he's impressed in qualifying before, and he's still impressing today. I mean, Arrow was one of the fastest drivers in D3, and in D4 multiple times before, so nothing new for him. But I think everyone here in the top 5 is pretty comfortable with their times. I think the only people that have to really worry are the people who are still in the 112s, like maybe Kenny LaFleur, Kenny McKeever. Both Kennys are actually need to pick up the pace really quickly. Simba, Leo Critics, Cushy, these people are in the firing zone. Beamer has a qualifying ban or something. He's grayed out. So I'm not too sure about that. Someone in general chat, let me know if he has a qualifying ban or not. And James E is on an outlap as well, so we'll see him move up or not. So only 4 people will be kicked out of this. Actually, only 2 people will be kicked out of this race because it's not a full grid. But yeah, so Q1 not too important. You have to be really slow to be knocked out. So sorry to anyone who does get knocked out. But yeah, I think Kenny Flair shouldn't be sitting in the pits because his time is very volatile. Because if Kenny McKeever improves and Jamesy, he can have a chance of getting kicked out. And from what I've heard is that he has really good qualifying time, like qualifying pace, sorry. So he should be a really good one to look at. Yeah, but besides that, nothing too interesting from this qualifying so far, besides Jamesy slamming into the wall there. Not too good from that driver. I haven't seen this driver before. I think he's new to the league, not too sure. Yeah, but everyone else is in the pits. Rangers decided to go out on mediums, actually. I said another time, so that's interesting from the Ferrari driver. Both Ferraris in P6 and 7, very close. You have a yellow flag of a Red Bull. Oh, NVA is burning fuel to do a hot lap, so interesting to see what he'll do there. I don't know why he's going in first and neutral all the time. But yeah, he's doing that. Kenny McKeever, I don't know what he's doing really. Doesn't seem like he's improving, so Kenny Lafleur actually might be safe. Kenny Lafleur just left the session, actually. So I don't know too much about that. Hopefully he joins back soon. Yeah, I think this is going to be your qualifying format, guys. I don't think Kenny McKeever or James is going to improve too much, and Beamer can't obviously qualify, so I think he should be pretty fine here. Yeah, James, he doesn't look like he's on the pace right now, so yeah, this should be a qualifying grid. Aero first place, Tactic Speedy second, Mr. Baby third, Joe Garon fourth, and Ben at fifth. So currently, actually, Beamer NG and Joel Garon are fighting for the championship. Joel needs Beamer to actually DNF for him to win this race. So, for Joel to win this race, Beamer needs to DNF, and Joel needs to win the race. So Beamer just needs to score at least 1 point, and he'll win the entire championship. I don't know what this James guy is doing, but he seems to be having a nice, fun time bumping the car around the walls. Not too sure about that one. Yeah, I don't know why these guys are on outlaps right now, though. That's a bit weird. Mainly because their qualifying times are safe. Unless they're going out on used tires to just get more practice in, I can understand it, but at this point, they shouldn't really need to be going out again. You know, save as much tires as you can, you know? You want to just save as much, even if it's used, like, you still want to, like, use a new used, well, not new used, but a used tire set into Q2, beginning of Q2. Then you can do 2 clean tire runs and then 2 more at the end of Q3. So a little bit of weird strategy calls here coming up from some of these drivers. Maybe a little bit of an ego contest, you know, like, oh, I don't want to be 5th, you know? I want to be 2nd. So nothing to be scared here. Looks like James is going to be the only driver being kicked out into Q1. So everyone else will be going in and through. So I don't know why everyone else is doing laps. Everyone should retire. There's nothing to really accomplish right now. Let's hop on with NVA. He's doing a lap right now. He goes P7 with 11.7. Decent time from NVA. Let's see who else is on a lap. Leo Critics is on a lap. Let's see what he can do. Leo Critics, the Alfa Romeo driver. Very strong driver in D4. Had some trouble in D3, but let's see what we can do with this qualifying lap. Looks pretty tidy through the first and second sector, so the Critics might be having a really good lap here. People in 2 sectors, not too sure if that's real or not, but if it is, he's really loving life right now. Can't see if it's a real purple sectors or not, but Leo Critics can definitely make it possible to get pole right now. Bumps the wall. Leo Critics does not get pole, though. I think that's P11 for the Alfa Romeo driver. Sorry, P9 for the Alfa Romeo driver. So very unfortunate for Leo Critics there. He did not get his position he wanted. But, yeah, I mean, very not exciting qualifying. I mean, nothing really could have happened there when he was one driver able to get knocked out. We're going to have a much more interesting qualifying coming into Q2. So any of the bottom 10 drivers, Fitz, Cushy, Simba, Kenny LaFleur, even Roberto, should all be worried right now because, it's their time to fail and everyone else's time to gain. So I think one of the drivers to look out for right now is Ranger, who's at 11.7 on mediums, which is really good. Mediums being like 6, 7 tenths slower. So he's definitely in the top 2 here, fighting for pole. Should be really interesting from the Canadian driver. Yeah, but while we'll be waiting for the session to advance to Q2, we will be back with you in just a moment. Okay, we are back in it, boys, to Q2. Nothing too interesting happening in Q1, but hopefully it can pick up in Q2. No rain seems to be in sight. I'll double check that just now to make sure that actually no rain's coming out. Let's get on the tab window. And actually, there's a slight chance of rain in 20 minutes. So, wait, no? Oh, wait, the race is wet, guys. Oh my god, we're going to have a wet race. That's sick. Yeah, the D3 guys are going to have some fun today. Wet race today. That's awesome. Yeah, awesome. Okay, let's see if we can bring in some of these drivers who have not qualified yet. We'll definitely want to see some, where they're at, why they've been knocked out, So, let me see if I can get a... Oops. See if I can get a non-Trivedi in here.
Hello?
Hey, Anand, what's going on, man? So we're bringing in you here because you were the one of two people being knocked out of Q1. I don't know if you had a qualifying penalty or something like that, or maybe you crashed during the qualifying.
Um, Look, it doesn't matter. I mean, all I need to do is finish the race, so might as well just have fun.
Okay, so you retired the car, is what you're saying.
No, I went on track on inters, tried to set a lap, and I crashed.
Okay, so you
But
made a
like,
mistake.
yeah, no, I did it because it doesn't matter.
Okay. Oh, do you think you've secured this victory?
Um, I have no clue. Like, as long as I finish, and that's the hard part. I don't know if I will finish because it's Monaco in the wet.
Yeah, I just saw that this is gonna be a wet race for you guys, so you know, Intas might be it's a bit more challenging for you, you know? Not in the sense of saying that you're a bad wet driver, but in the sense of like, it's Monaco wet, you know? It's gonna be harder to stay
Yeah,
alive around here. But
but
yeah,
I think it's
yeah,
gonna be
mate.
a bit hard for other drivers.
Yeah, but since you're here, Nan, I mean, tell me what you think about some of these drivers. Who do you think is gonna be taking pole for Q3?
Um, Hands down, Ethan.
Ethan. Okay. So
Yeah,
Arrow
he is
getting a
setting
10.8.
blistering lap.
So your Arrow getting a 10.8 is no indication that he might be able to dip his toes in there or anything.
Uh, no.
Okay.
I think his best time was like a 9.3.
I mean,
So
you can have PBs in offline, but that's something, you know. But what you can do right now is very different. Like, I mean, look, uh, what did Ethan do for his Q1 lap? 11.3, and I think Arrow was like 5/10 clear, which is pretty insane for a first lap, you know.
yeah,
I don't think Ethan's known for his consistency, but he can definitely put out a really fast lap if he gets lucky.
yeah. But I trust him to do it. I
Okay,
don't think he's
that's
that inconsistent, but
you're hoping for him to do it as well. You
yeah,
don't want Joel to get
yeah,
you don't want Joel to be winning this race. I think if Joel wins this race and you don't score a single point, he wins.
yeah.
But if you come last and he wins, then you guys tie, and then it's comeback.
Well, I can't come last because there's only 17 drivers. So last would still give me the championship.
Oh, like 3 championship points.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it like, okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, but yeah. So basically, you just need to come last and you'll be fine, which is very
yeah,
relieving thought. You know.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're also starting last to just stay out of all this trouble that's gonna happen. I kind of thought
Yeah.
you would have qualified to be in front of the trouble, instead of
Well,
behind it. No,
there's a high
yeah,
chance of people outbreaking themselves into turn one.
yeah, and then accidentally coming back on track and hitting you, which is kind of the scary
Yeah,
part, right?
yeah.
Yeah, but how do you feel about the season so far, Nan? Like, tell me about it.
Um, it's been really fun. The start of the season, I didn't have pace to win a race for the first 2 races, but then I started practicing more than other drivers, and then I finally became the fastest driver in D3.
Yeah, I definitely saw you on single player a lot more than usual coming into D3. So
Yeah,
it was definitely in the making, for sure. I mean, you and Ira are two of the reasons why Haas is doing so well right now. You know?
yeah. Like no one thought that we would be fighting for the championships before the first race, but like now we're both in the top of our divisions.
Yeah, I see. Interesting. Yeah. It's quite interesting to see where Haas has went from nearly the back of the grid to the front. You've done a great job as a TP to bring the Haas team back up to glory.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, but interesting to see how other teams are handling themselves right now. I mean, Mercedes is leading by Avalanche in the Constructors' Championship right now. I think also McLaren is dead last and will stay dead last.
Yeah. I think they've been out of the possibility for P9, like mathematically, since the last race.
Really? I
So
didn't know that.
yeah, it's pretty bad for them. And also, I
Yeah.
think Mercedes is going to be the only team to get 1,000 points this season.
Yeah, which would be pretty good. I mean, they had a really good whole roster.
Yeah.
Ferrari could have done that as well if we didn't have such shit D1 drivers, you know? Like, dude, I hate those D1 drivers. They're so slow. You know, that Luke guy, get out of D1, bro. You're not first pick, you know, like you
Yeah,
can't win
probably like
races.
D2 second pick.
Yeah, D2 second pick for sure. Strong D2 second pick. But yeah, that Luke guy, not really that good. That Major guy, even worse, dude. Don't get me started on the Major guy.
Oh my god.
Don't get me started on him, dude. I have lots of things to say, but besides that, yeah, I think Ferrari D2 is currently the strongest. I think they're up to win the constructors. Currently
Yeah,
still.
easily.
Yeah, easily. Also, Syra and Dougie will be both racing tonight, which will help our chances even more.
Yeah.
I expect both of them definitely to be in the top two, basically, because they're literally the two fastest drivers in that division. Besides that, I mean, that's all I have to say now. Thank you for coming. Thank you for interviewing you. I'm going to be bringing other people right now, but yeah, you take care.
Yep, thanks.
Yep, thanks. You can move yourself. Nathan. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing pretty good. And yourself?
Nice. Well, I'm doing great. Welcome to the booth. I mean, how are you, first off?
Well, I'm pretty good. This race is very exciting, so I've been trying to prepare for it a little bit and just do the best I can. So that's got me on my nerves a little bit, but it's Monaco, and that's what you can expect here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, definitely an interesting season for you, especially Nathan. Going from Ferrari to Aston Martin, quite the downgrade, you would say. What do you think
Yeah,
about this trade that you've done early into the season?
Well, I mean, if I were to look back in it and do it again, I probably wouldn't. Honestly, I do really enjoy the folks at Aston Martin here, but the only reason I really left Ferrari is, as your boy Cagney
Yeah,
just
Cagney is,
destroys
yeah.
the wing. Yeah, the only reason I really left Ferrari is because the state that it was in less than like it took 30 minutes for D1 and their leadership to crumble. And so I just decided that it probably wouldn't be a good place to be if, we didn't have any D1 drivers, we didn't even have a team principal at the time. I mean, we had you, but you stepped down as a driver. So
Yeah, as
they were in
well,
kind
yeah.
of they were in kind of a situation then moved to Aston Martin, and like 2 days later, you had the entire thing sorted out, and you're back to winning races. So, if I could have stayed, knowing that that would have happened, I would have. But now that I'm at Aston Martin, I'm just gonna do the best I can for them. They're a great bunch of guys, so I wouldn't say
Yes.
it's a downgrade, because they're definitely a bit happier than Ferrari was.
Yeah,
But
I would
hey,
say that for sure. Yeah, Maxime and I mean, you have the happy bunch of guys. You know, I would definitely agree with that. Ferrari is a bit more performance driven. Yeah, but besides that, I mean, let's look at the Q2 time so far, Nathan. We have technical speed with a 10.8. Uh, to tell you the truth, I'm kind of surprised, really. These times are very high compared to what some of these people are talking about. You know, Technic Speedy was bragging about a 9.3 earlier on today, and clearly he's not showing pace towards that kind of number. I mean, Aero even did a 10.8 in Q3, so to be honest, me right now, Aero's the fastest guy in qualifying right now that I can tell.
yeah, I mean, I was just in the call with Ethan, and he was like, I don't think any of these guys behind me will beat me. Like, do you see Leo beating me? Do you see Kenny McKeever beating me? I was like, hey, you don't underestimate Kenny McKeever. And plus, you got Arrow. He set the same time pretty much as you did in Q1. So I wouldn't say you're
You're out
leaving
of
pole
it.
position just yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing 9.3 probably until either tonight, later in D2, or even D1.
Yeah.
And if we did see one from Ethan, I would be actually very surprised.
Yeah, I will be quite surprised as well. So I don't think it's going to happen. I think Ethan's probably going to get a low 10. I don't just the field spread itself in D3 just looks like, it reminds me of D3, like literally last season D3. It's the same times exactly. And I think Ethan's going to get a 10.1 pole, and someone's going to be behind him. I don't know who, but somebody is going to be behind him.
I mean, we both know Arrow is a very quick driver, so we could be looking at Arrow potentially
I
taking
mean,
pole
yeah.
position. Yeah.
I mean, it could be. I can't tell at this point. Era is he's like me. He's like a really good qualifier, but sometimes that qualifying status can go here and there. As Ranger, I think you retired. Yeah, you retired from the race.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ranger's not having any more. He's done. He said 11.1 and said I'm done, which is fine. 5 drivers that they need to worry about right now are Ben, Roberto, Simba, Kenny McKeever, and Kenny LaFleur. Kenny LaFleur touted to be a lot quicker than this right now. So he needs to be setting in some purple sectors as he sets a middle fastest right now. So Kenny LaFleur currently flying. Let's see if he can make it out to the top 11 as speak of the devil, Arrow sets a 10 flat. Oh, Kenny has a little bit of a moment. Maybe he will not make it out of position 15. Sets himself just in the danger zone. I don't think that's enough. I think Kenny needs to do another lap. Yeah, definitely. Kenny needs to do another lap. All 4 of the guys behind him are on out laps. I think Kenny's going to get knocked out of the session. I don't think he has the battery or the fuel to do another lap. So Kenny might be potentially out of Q2. Arrow solidifying his GOAT status, dude. A 10 flat in a Q2 session. That's D2 pace. Yeah, if you're talking about D2 pace, that's D2 pace. If he can't set times like that, then I don't see him doing a 9.3. I can definitely see Arrow doing a high 9 right now. But Arrow's always been fast at Monaco, you know? He's always been a Monaco sweat, you know? Just always.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I think that is a really D2 pace. That's kind of a bit near what I was setting at the end of Q2. A couple tenths off, but I think he won't have any challenges here. I mean, Ethan
I gets a little bit of a toe. Kenny LaFleur gets a little bit of a toe from Alpine. He puts himself P6. Yeah, I think Kenny should be clear. We're going to be looking at some other drivers, specifically Ben, Bebedo, and Simba, seeing if they can make their way out of the bottom 5. So we have 2 Williams, an Alpine, and McLaren, and Leo Critis, who are currently under fire and have a potential of actually losing this race. Well, not losing this race, but losing this qualifying session. Okay, so let's check on Leo Critis, who's currently P11. Let's see if he's improving right now on his lap. Doesn't seem like it so far. Has a really good exit out of the chicane. Does a 11.7. Good lap from Leo Critis. Let's see what these other drivers can do. Who's coming across the line? I see Simba does a 12 flat. That's not enough, Simba. Simba's in the falling off zone. Let's see what Mr. Baby's up to. He's not finishing his lap yet. Ben sets a fastest middle sector. Don't know if that's not true or not, but he looks pretty quick to my eye. Sending it down this hanger straight. Let's see what he can do. Ben does a 11 flat. Really good time from the Williams driver. So Simba right now in the death zone. He's going to be out of Q2 this session, but let's see what Mr. Baby can do. Can he kick Cushy down? Mr. Baby does kick Cushy down. Both AlphaTauris out of the Q2 session. Now Simba on his last flying lap. Can he make it out of Q2? Can he put the Ferrari driver of Kaganus down and put himself up into Q3? Let's see this lap right now. Keeps it nice and tidy. A bit too slow through that chicane. Simba needs to carry a bit more speed than that if he wants to get an 11.7. Let's see where he's at right now. Going very slow through that corner. Doesn't look too good for the Williams driver of Aaron Green. A lot of hesitation here. I think that's it for Aaron Green as he just slows to a halt. He's going to the pits. Looks like Aaron Green is out of the session. So we have Cushy, Fitz, Simba, Boberto, and Kenny McKeever. All 5 drivers out of the session. Very interesting qualifying. So both Red Bulls, Ferraris, Mercedes have made it through the session. 1 Williams, 1 Alpine, and 1 Esteban have also made it through the session. Very interesting. Sorry. Just having a couple of coughs. I'm recovering from being sick. Okay, I mean, very unfortunate from those bottom 5 drivers. Boberto, Simba, Fitz, Cushy. Are the drivers who have been knocked out of the session. Yeah, they will not be going any further. Oh, what is that? Ranger got a 5-place grid penalty. Interesting. I wonder if that's going to come into play for the race. Not too sure yet. Let's see. Let's bring in Fitz. Let's see if we can bring in Fitz to see what happened to the AlphaTauri boys. Okay, so we're going to be bringing Fitz Dickwell of AlphaTauri team principal. Hey, Fitz.
What's up, man?
Yeah, what's going on, dude? I saw the unfortunate qualifying result just now. Both AlphaTauris knocked out of Q2. I mean, tell me what's going on. Tell me what was going through the heads between you and Cushy. You know, was there a strategy mistake, driver
No.
error?
Yeah, it was full driver error on my part. I just braked too late going down Casino and
Oh,
hit my front wing. Didn't have enough time. I was gonna go out a minute early, lost track of time. Like, it was just me not paying attention enough.
I
But
see.
that shit happens. Cushy had to slow down for Aaron when he was on his hot lap, so he missed about 3/10 on what he was running. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, shit happens. Gonna make for more interesting race, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely going to be making more of an interesting race. I mean, just tell me how you feel. I mean, I heard that you're stepping down from AlphaTauri at the end of the season. I mean, tell us about that. I mean, how was your time being an AlphaTauri team principal?
Well, the team was great. Every team that I had the last 3 seasons has been awesome. Um, F122 sometimes has not been awesome. So that first season was a rough one. The last 2 seasons have been awesome. But yeah, it's just I'm not ready to commit to this game. Even 23 is looking better. I'm going to take a little time off so I can have some of my Saturdays back for the summer. Because we
Yeah.
got some traveling to do here, and that's the hard part about this league is Saturday nights doesn't work too well when you're an adult. But
Yeah.
it's been great. That's been honestly the best part. I've been loving driving. I've been running the best I've been racing this season compared to all the others. It's just time to put it down for a little while and see how the next game turns out.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, following up that question, I mean, we had a very interesting last season now. Season got cut short. I mean, do you have any thoughts about that? Did you want the season to continue on? Did you not like that the season was cut short? I mean, there must be some opinion that some of the TPs have had about the season being cut short for the release of the game.
Yeah, no, I'm bummed, but like I would have liked to finish out the season because I think the 12 race seasons have been huge improvement. They've been awesome. I understand though, like as soon as the new game comes out, people want to grind it because a lot of people are just burnt out over this game. So we're gonna.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it was the full season, but I completely understand why it isn't, and I don't blame anybody. I mean, D1 and D2, we'll see. I mean, we're probably going to be missing 5+ people out of each one of those just because it's a hard game to finish playing, especially when the new one's coming out this next week.
Yeah, but I mean, we have 10 people signed up for D1 right now.
Yep.
Including me.
I'm not shocked at all. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not signed up as well. I will not be here Sunday, but yeah, very unfortunate for the final couple races, but I guess everyone's just tired of the game. It's not like F1 2021 where people were like kind of happy to send it off.
Yep.
Because people were fine with the game, but I guess everyone's just really tired of this game. They
Yep.
want to move on.
No, and I'm excited. You know, everything looks promising. Everything's looking really good for the new, all the new gameplay, all the drivers that have had early copies of it. Even Magnussen got in on the beta, and he's like, traction is back. You know, people aren't spinning in 5th gear anymore, which is going to be a huge game changer for a lot of the people here.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I'm really excited for it to come out. I just won't be buying it right away. I do have the EA Play or whatever, so I'll have my 5 hours of time, and I'll put that in later. But you know, I'm gonna try to find some other racing games, little iRacing during the week or something like that. But
Yeah,
it's time to have weekends for the summer.
Mm-hmm. That sounds great, man. Well, I think the only thing left I have to say is just like, what do you think qualifying is gonna edge out to? I mean, also, not to forget, there's also a an entirely wet race it does not look like it's going to be drying up at all from my telemetry. So it seems
Yeah.
like it's going to be a full wet race for you guys. I mean, do you have any expectations? Do you have any ideas? Like, has AlphaTauri prepared a wet setup? Are you guys prepared to under fuel? You know, like what are the motions right now? What are you planning to do due to this
Well,
curveball?
well, I see that on the telemetry too. You know, it's partly sunny with a little rain. You know, we'll see how much actually is coming down as soon as we get to the race.
Might be
Um,
damp the whole
it might be
time.
damp, cold, so your on tires a little less psi, and you can get your pressures up a little higher. But you know, me and Cushy are both pretty darn good in the rain because we're not kids, so we have patience. Uh,
Yeah. Got you.
but no, this qualifying for sure is definitely going to show, you know, who has a wet, who's ready for dry. I think Arrow should be able to walk away with it if he could stay out of the wall, but you know that's how that goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think qualifying is not going to really, if it is wet, qualifying ain't going to mean a damn thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be definitely down to. It's gonna be interesting. I think it's gonna be it's gonna be pit stop strategy is gonna be extremely important. Even
Oh
more
yeah,
important than dry. Like you're gonna have to like nail that.
yeah, no, and you know the teams with the engineers are definitely the ones that are going to come out a little better this week, just because you got to know your gaps, you know, when how long your pits are going to take, what the weather's looking like. You know, it's going to be a very engineer-driven positive race if it is wet.
Yeah, definitely. I think Kagan has just sent it into a wall or just retired. I don't know why.
Sometimes you just got to go for it, man. You know,
Yeah, man, just fucking send it, buddy.
full send, bud. But yeah, no, I'm
Bud.
excited. I'm going to be doing D2 race, so going to be doing a Monaco full quality double to send myself off. So I'm excited.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I will not be sadly doing this last race, but it's nice to see you guys enjoying the night. I love the night races, to be honest.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's so much
It
easier
look-
on the eyes, you know.
As Joel sends it into the wall. But yeah, no, it's so much more fun. I'm glad we're doing a night race. I'm really excited to see if the increased safety car actually works, because every time that I've raced Monaco, every time there's never been a safety car. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
same. Definitely. I think Ranger's doing another lap right now. He seems to be doing pretty well. But I think everyone has their eyes on Arrow, who's literally the Monaco master last couple seasons as well.
Yeah, I remember him filling in. It was last season and 2 seasons ago,
D2,
and I think he was.
right?
Yeah, he was top 10.
Yeah, it was crazy
Yeah, like,
time he set. Oof,
he's.
sends it into the wall.
That's not a good start. But yeah, no, I'm excited to see what he does because he's fast as hell here. But he's just got to put it together for the race, which has been a downfall.
Mm-hmm.
But
Definitely.
I think he can do it.
Yeah, those green ring tires are going to look really nice on that Aston Martin.
It's gonna look good with some nice rooster tails behind it.
That too. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Fitz. I mean, if you have anything else to say, you can say it now. But besides
No.
that, I think we've had our conversation.
Yeah, thanks, Luke.
Yep. You take care, man.
Yep.
Okay, and we are now going to be back to checking out what's going on. Nothing really much has changed. Times have stayed the same. My guess is that your top 5 is going to be... Jesus Christ. Top 5 is going to be looking like something like Ranger, Ethan, Ben... Sure. Nathan, can you comment in the meanwhile?
Alright, so like Luke was saying, our top 5 is looking, actually as Arrow has a huge moment, goes around through the chicane. Yeah, so it looks like our top 5 will consist of John Ranger at the top right now. Ethan Patel, when I heard him complete his lap, he was not happy with it at all, so that is how he's feeling about it. I think he has more pace than him, does Ethan Patel. He does have one more set of new tires, so he will be going out very shortly to go for the fastest lap, of course, pole position. So this man right here that we were watching right now, Arrow, he's definitely probably one of the fastest drivers here tonight, but he's had a bit of a moment in his last hot lap, which does not help him whatsoever, and he has not set a lap yet. So if he does not end up setting a lap now, he will be in P9 because Kagan is DNF'd. So it is up to him and maybe John Ranger, Ethan Patel, to really go for pole position today. We might see a little bit of a surprise appearance. Maybe NVA or Kenny LaFleur can put in their own say. But yeah, right now we have 4 drivers into the 110s. We know Arrow could be pole right now if his Q2 time went like right now, but I mean, that's just not how it works. So Ethan Patel is one of our first men out on his outlap for the final lap of his qualifying session tonight. I think we're in to see some fun here. I'm gonna move myself into the lobby real quick. Yeah, so Ethan Patel for Alpine, the Alpine team principal, probably one of the faster drivers tonight, so I think we can expect a lot from him as I am in the lobby. Going out its back through this little quick left-right chicane and then into the swimming pool chicane, of course. Then it's only Larascas and I forgot what it's called, Anthony Notes is the last corner. And then it is on to a hot lap for our man Ethan Patel tonight. Alright, so we are on with Ethan Patel going in through to turn 1. He is going quite fast right now. We will look as he takes 4th gear through that little section for the first time. He's been taking 5th gear all night long. Knows to try a bit something different going through lower gears, as I have told him to do so. 3rd gear still through the hairpin. Won't really take him too much rotation wise, but he does have the speed and the stability as he almost has a big moment out of the corner right before Portia, and he has backed out of his lap. I wonder if he can get to the line in time to go for another fast lap, or he's given up maybe. I'm not sure, but he is really trying to get this battery charged here.
Yep, I'm back.
Welcome back. We're on board with Ethan Patel right now. He's just aborted his first hot lap and is looking to get to the line for his second one. We have multiple other drivers on the hot lap, so I'll let you take us through with NVA going through Sector 2 now.
Yeah, I mean, NVA going through Sector 2 right now looks pretty clean. Carries a bit too much speed into that hairpin, has to overbrake. Yeah, and just a lot of overbraking from NVA here. I can't tell if he's up on his time yet. He seems to be 2/10 down from pole lap right now. Oh, in Sector 1, so we'll see what he does in Sector 2. And yeah, a lot of this is just setup dependent, you know? If you got the car in the nice window, just a really, really good car on the curb right there. So he's gonna have a nice exit right here, nice and quick. Doesn't know if he just hit the wall there, but he did go fastest in the second sector. There's a real purple sector. Taps the wall a bit. That actually is not a bad thing to do. Gets nice speed. There's a little bit of a skid. Stays in second gear. Very brave from the Red Bull driver. He might be going second place or even pole here. No! It does P4. Very unenthusiastic.
And now Arrow comes the line is only 6th. And then 6th is stolen by Joel Guron. And Ranger has finished his lap, but he has finished on the top of the session right now. He's pole position for your own team, Ferrari, and somehow Ben in second place, Ethan Patel in 3rd place, had a lot higher hopes from where he'd be, but no, John Ranger and Ben have taken his place.
I mean,
what are your thoughts on that here?
I mean, technically, if we're going off of who would have been the fastest, it would have been Arrow deserved the pole here right now. Because he probably even had more pace. He said that time, he said better times than this in Q2. So Arrow definitely disappointing for sure. Who else is disappointing? Ethan, for sure. I mean, if you're doing low 9s, I don't know how you're still in the mid 10s in Q3. So unfortunate for the Alpine driver who was expecting a lot more, but a lot more did not come. So they're gonna have a full wet race. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very tricky. Seems like the rain is not lightening up anytime soon, so it's going to be a full wet race. Qualifying and, well, not qualifying, but strategy is going to be extremely important here.
Yeah, luckily it is only intermediate, is from what I've heard from Duck Mechanics, so not going to be full wet, you know, swimming in Monaco here, but we will have a bit of wet weather, so that does definitely spice it up a bit, as we have seen in the past 2 Monaco Grand Prix in
Yeah.
real life. But yeah, it's really gonna change up how people get off the line here, because normally you would start on the softer tire and that would get you a better launch off the start, and maybe that would get you some positions. But now it's the intermediate tires, like
Everyone's even. Yeah.
on.
Everyone's. Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I am actually racing. I will retire from the session as soon as I can, but
Yeah. As all the
yeah,
mechanics do their preparational T-pose to warm up
yeah,
to do pit stops.
of course, I'm sat here in the McLaren right now at the back of the grid. Um, I'm not gonna be giving you any first-person commentary here, but
Oh, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a no cigarette smoking sign on the pit entry there. If you didn't see.
well, I wasn't planning on smoking anyway.
Yeah, but
Thank
to
you for
all
letting us
the
know.
smokers out there watching the stream and participating in the race, make sure you put those cigarettes away. This is a smoke-free zone.
I'm
Anyways,
starting the
smoke-free
race.
zone does not matter as the race is starting in 1, 2, 3, and away we are going. It is the start of the Monaco GP. NVA gets a fantastic start, beats Ethan off the line. Ethan gets bumped a little. Ethan kind of cuts across. Oh, what is the havoc happening in the back here? I want to see. Cars are being ghosted. Drivers are being hit. Beamer makes his way up to P14. Lots of chaos here. Ranger sending it all the way down from P1 to P7. Not great from the Ferrari driver. As he's looking down the inside, makes a move down, arrows inside. Tries to make it stick. They're both going to be going side by side into the hairpin. Arrow gives a lot of room to the Ferrari driver who just hits the wall, and now he just pushes Arrow into the wall. Okay. So,
Yeah, don't. I'm with you now.
yeah, very unfortunate to see there. Who else is really close? Cushy, really close to the back of Kagatis. Very interesting to see here.
Now
Actually,
I'm-
gives his position up to Cushy.
Yeah, to Fitz actually, and
No,
maybe
yeah.
a bit of action chicane here. Lots of people going off and cutting the track at the start. We did see the McLaren. What's happened?
I mean, chaos, dude. Cushy literally just broke, like, almost to zero, and everyone had to like literally dodge him. It's chaos happening right now. I mean, it is wet Monaco, you know.
Yeah, I think this is the first time we've seen Wet Monaco in quite a while, and it's definitely proving treacherous as Arrow pits and retires from the session. So he is out, and he was looking to be the favorite of tonight's race.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
he has gone out.
I mean, after especially getting sadly taken out in that kind of fashion after giving so much room to another driver, it's very unfortunate to see. But nothing too interesting besides Ben. Nothing too interesting besides NVA fucking sending it to N1. Sorry for cursing there. But yeah, NVA making a magical send down the outside of Ethan, but sadly losing out on traction. So this is going to be pretty interesting. Joel Guron currently in 5th place. I don't know if he has damage or not, but hopefully not, because he'll be hoping to win this race and hopefully make Anand have an incident. He's hoping for Anand to have an incident as much as possible, you know?
Yeah.
Anand is right now currently winning the championship if he just finishes this race. So we'll see what
Anand has
happens.
gained 6 positions from his
Oh,
start,
we have a
and
yellow
that's a
flag.
Haas around, but it's not the right Haas, it's James. He spun around out of Portia. We'll take us back through the action that happened on lap 1, though. I was lucky enough to start behind everyone, so I saw all the action in the back. And my McLaren teammate, Kenny McKeever, he lost it off the line, slammed into the wall, and lost his front wing. I thought he was dead, but he's not. So continuing the race through the hairpin now, and Ethan Tell sets the fastest lap with his pace. And Ben, you know, it's kind of hard to tell with Ben here. This pace is having a bit of a moment. We might see a move here from Ethan Patel. It'd be very, very risky to go down the inside in the intermediate in such corners like Monaco has. But if he gets a good run through all of these corners, then he's not really getting the run that he needs to, you know, really take advantage of this. If he can, though, I think he can get the overtake done.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you send one up the inside, there's no like hard defense you can pull off. You really need to just concede the position at that point, because there's no chance of you ever making that stick. There's just no grip.
Yeah, yellow flag behind for that is Kushi 43. No damage to the Alpha Tower. It looks like he might have gone a bit deep into Mirabo though. Whatever it is sorted out. He's back running and he's behind now Roberto 93.
Yeah, I mean, look at
And
this split already. Everyone's already, like, separating out. As Ben hits the wall, that's going to be helping Tactic Speedy close in the gap. Definitely Ethan's going to be hoping for Ben to have definitely damaged something, because he's not allowed to run with damage, actually. If that's just actually a new rule in ZRL Handbook. If you have damage and you have something more than just a light green wing, then you are hampering the driver behind you and slowing down the race and actually holding him up, which can actually be a very hefty penalty. So Ben's going to have to probably concede this position if he does have any damage. Well, if he does have any noticeable damage. I mean, he doesn't seem to be too slow compared to Ethan right now, so he should be fine. But yeah, Ben and Ethan seem pretty even, and VA holding on for dear life, trying to stick with them. And Joel Garon also trying to catch up to the pack, as Mr. Baby goes a little bit too wide and touches the wall.
yeah, I mean, we all know this is one of the hardest circuits here in the Formula 1 calendar. Walls everywhere, and now we have rain, and it's at night, so it's going to be a very cold track as well. Then you go through the tunnel and salt dry for a little bit. That's where you can really put on the battery and not risk spinning too much. But right now it's just trying to get through these corners without hitting the walls, and some of these drivers haven't been able to do just that. So that is where I think we'll see most of the chances to overtake happen here, when the driver just has a bit of a moment as Ben is sliding around. Like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. If Ethan Patel was just a little bit closer, he'd be in the lead of the race right now.
Hit the
As
wall.
he hit the wall himself.
That has to be
Luckily,
damage.
no, I don't think so, because we are running reduced damage here, and
You saw that hit. It was like on the wing.
yeah, but we've seen hits from Ben that have been arguably a bit harder than that, and he doesn't have damage, so I think we'll be safe here with Ethan Patel. And I'm kind of questioning this rule here with the damage. I mean, of course, yes, it's in the rule book, but it really depends how severe the damage is, and especially around with the circumstances we have. It's Monaco. I mean, you'd probably be hampering the driver anyway if you're just a bit slower, but you wouldn't have to give the position then. So it's these circumstances,
difficult,
it's really
yeah.
hard to apply that rule here, yeah.
Yeah, but
We
again,
see-
let's see what's happening. I don't think we're going to see any interesting, insane moves happen until someone makes a mistake, because attacking here is going to be very difficult, because the driver ahead of you and the driver behind you basically have the same grip. You can't outgrip someone that well, and if you do, it's by very little, you know? You're not going to get an amazing run that's going to send you up the inside, as Tech Speedy
That is
definitely
happening.
gets a track cut for that, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely, and look at the moments Ben is having through this section. I mean, he almost spun it around out of the chicane, and now he's sliding around out of all these corners. It's very, very treacherous, but the Williams driver is holding on for dear life as
think
we
I-
watch him. Look at all of these moments here.
Yeah, crazy. I think if I was Ethan Patel right now, I wouldn't be too worried about overtaking him. I think he would kill himself. You know, like, I'll be like, yeah, he's going to die soon. Like, I'm not going to be too worried. You know?
I think so too. Joel sending the fastest lap with a 1:23.287. I don't think that really shows anything due to weather though. I think we will just have intermediates for the entire rest of the race. So this action is here to stay. It's going to be a little bit better as we see Kaganus making it past Leo Karitis here.
Yeah,
that
definitely.
was the
Leo
turn one
Kreitis
with the exit
has
off.
damage, I believe. Yeah. Leo Kreitis needs to concede some of these positions now, or else he's going to be holding up some drivers.
Yeah, I
So,
don't see any visible damage on the Alfa Romeo though, but he is definitely losing
He's
a lot of time being overtaken by Fitz now.
Yeah, as he has a little bump there. I'm hopping on with Anand right now because he's a driver who cannot face dying, as he kind of forces Leo to lock up there after he kind of spooks him on the inside. So Anand will make that overtake pretty cleanly and make his way up to P10. What else do we have
Someone
here?
off in the middle of the track though. It looks like the McLaren of Kenny McKeever has retired as he's lost his front wing on the exit of Tabac. Don't mind that voice crack. But yeah, he is retired from the session. Still no safety car, even though I believe it was meant to be running on increase tonight. But yeah, it's
Well,
gonna
he was
be-
on the runoff, so.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be the last victim we see here tonight. Safety
No,
car is
there'll
on
be
increased.
3 more.
so yeah.
3 more, I think.
3 more. All right.
Mhm.
All right. I
I'm
like the
calling
prediction.
James, Cushy, and Leo.
Interesting picks. Certainly, at this time though, I'd maybe even put Ben up there, because all these moments he's having, one of them could just end up being too costly and send him into a wall.
No, we haven't
I
seen it
think-
yet. He's been saving them pretty well, which makes me have confidence in him because he knows how to control his car. You know, you could tell.
Yeah.
You can kind of say like if you see someone spinning around, it's like, oh my god, like wow, he's not doing well, but like he's trying to find the limit. He's like on the limit. You know, that's how you find pace in the wet, especially. You know, you need to be pushing this car constantly to feel where the grip is and how it's changing. So I think Ben's actually doing the best job right now of actually overdriving the car on traction zones, not on corner entry like most other people doing on mid corner. You see, like right there, he's just like, he's really just trying to feel that grip and try to get his hands understanding, okay, what do I need to do? How much throttle do I need to put down? You know, I think Ben's doing a great job of pacing himself in a not safe manner, but definitely in a manner that's safe to him and that's making it work. Because I mean, he's keeping Ethan Patel off. You know, I think he's doing a pretty good job.
And I have news that Joel Grun has disconnected from the session here.
Oh no.
Interesting, because I do see his car is not ghosted whatsoever, and it looks like he's actually pushing quite hard here. I'll get more clarification on that, but it looks like he has dropped back from the pack that he was in not too long ago. So now he's got the Ferrari of John Ranger behind him, but it looks like he's in complete control of his car, so hopefully he's back. Hopefully we don't have any desync issues right now. That's an Alfa Romeo of Leokritis who's lost his wing on the track. I don't think we will have the safety car though, because it's just Monaco. He might return to the pits here to repair his front wing. We will see very shortly. And he does, but I feel like he might retire here. Because this track is just, you know, you can get too much of it and just want to quit sometimes, but luckily he does not seem to be doing so.
Yeah. So unfortunately, Leokritis is not DNF'd. To my dissatisfaction due to me calling that he would. Not saying I hate Leokritis. Oh, as I think Ethan got a little bit squirrely on the exit there and on the curb. But Ethan seems to be making good ground on Ben. But Ben is a really solid driver, so we'll see what happens with him.
He takes the fastest lap away from Ben, does Ethan Patel here. And I have more news on now Joel Guran. He has lost 5 seconds, but he has not disconnected from the session, or at least if he has, he's back now. So no further news on the Red Bull. But like you said, Ethan Patel is doing a very good job of keeping his ground, but I think something that will come into play here, I mean, we saw Ethan Patel cutting the track a bit earlier and through the Nouvelle Chicane. I think time penalties could definitely affect how this race ends here, because if Ethan pushes just a bit too hard and gets a time penalty, that takes him 2 positions down into P4 and puts NVA and Mr. Baby into the podium position. So even just a small error like that, you turn in a bit too early and cut the track a little bit, that could ruin your entire race. Because
Yeah, and especially in the wet, those time penalties are even worse, knowing that any little bit of time lost here is exponentially worse than the dry, right? Because if you have a 3-second time penalty, you're not going to be like, okay, I can like push up really hard. Like, no, if you push harder, you're going to potentially make mistakes. You could potentially lose even more time, so you really can't get that ground, you know? Really dig into the track and like, okay, I can push harder, you know? So it's very unfortunate if you do get a time penalty because you're pretty much stuck with it. And it's pretty much a hamper for you the whole race. As Ethan seems to be on the aggressive here, pushing Ben around. Ethan very impatient right now, as he should be. It's Monaco. You really want to try and make a move as soon as possible. You should have stayed near Ben instead of pushing him so hard so he can get an overtake right here. Kind of the best spot to do it.
I think what's going on right now is Ethan is being very cautious and he's keeping it on track and just kind of waiting to pounce on the Williams if he makes a big moment, but Ben is just creating enough pace by overdriving the car just a little bit too, you know, like a bit more than Ethan right now, like you said earlier. I think he's doing a good job of just maintaining enough pace where he can stay comfortably ahead and where he can afford to make a few errors in this track here, and he's doing exactly that as he has another error. But as it goes, he has not lost position because of that. As I've heard someone just shred a wall. I'm not really sure who that was, but no damage to whoever it was.
Yeah, Mr.
Right
Wave
now
is also getting pretty close to the back of NVA, so that's going to be interesting to watch.
It's all about, which of these drivers has enough guts to really make a move, and look how close Ethan Patel is to the back of Ben now. It's onto the battery. We have some lap cars right ahead of him. Looks like he's going to try around the outside of turn 1. I would have called him crazy if he did, but he has backed out of it. And now he's on the hunt again for Ben. Ben has a lot more battery and he's deploying it just a little bit, so he's doing a good job of just staying ahead of Ethan. That's all he really needs to do for the rest of the race. In wet conditions, you do not need to pit, so you don't necessarily have to risk losing track position, but these tires will be in very bad condition if you decide to just keep it on one compound the entire race.
I mean, technically you can go the whole race without having to pit. I mean, if you really do... okay, think about it like this, right? If you spend 30 seconds tire saving, I technically think you can make this whole race without one set of tires. Like, I think if Ranger decides to stop pushing so hard, get to a gap where he's tire saving, like probably 1-2% more, like, and he gets like, by the pit stop time, he's like 10 seconds behind. If they pit, he'll be 20 seconds ahead. And now he has 20 seconds to push with slightly better tires where he can go to the end, you know? And to make up 20 seconds in the rain is pretty difficult. Like, not pitting might actually be the strategy here. Not saying that it is, but it is something that engineers should be thinking about. Well, in regards to tire wear. I don't know how well these tires are weighing. I don't know how the tire wears around here, so these engineers should be definitely taking a peek at that, because it actually is definitely a good strategy to think of.
And I also think that maybe even the plain old undercut or overcut could still come into play here. I know it's not too strong in Monaco because mostly the pit loss is due to traffic that you face out of the pits. But right now, if the field breaks up enough where you don't have to worry about, I think the undercut or overcut could still be a good strategy option here tonight. But
I mean, but at the same time, the undercut's kind of hard because you're gonna be in that whole idea of warming up your tires again, and those first 2 laps on the inters aren't that fun. So I think overcutting is actually the strategy on the wets. Even though Monaco is known for you want to undercut, but I think for this scenario, you want to stay out as long as possible.
Yeah, as Ben cuts the track, definitely. I don't know if he got a warning for that because it did look like he shaved off enough speed just trying to avoid it. But even so, he stays ahead. And I have to say, Ethan must be getting so frustrated right now behind the Williams. Unless he's just trying to stay behind and just keep this pace. I don't think he will, because I think he wants to really make this overtake happen. As we have an Alfa Romeo, that is Leo Critis, around again in around the same place he was earlier, this time with only, I think, a broken front wing end plate instead of the entire wing gone. Maybe he will come back into the pits, but so far he continues on. But yeah, this broken front wing end plate on that Alfa Romeo. He has lapped Haas, I think, or no, Haas has lapped him now. Yeah, right now we're just looking at all these drivers who are just trying to do their best and stay on track. I mean, it's pretty hard not to, because if you go off track, then you're probably just going to bounce back right onto it, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely. What else? Nothing too interesting is happening at this point, so I think it's time to bring out the best moments in some of these drivers' D3 season. So let's go through it real quick. So Kaganus actually was pushing too much and made a mistake. That's why he died in Q3, if we didn't know that already. Let's see. Okay, so yeah. So Arrow, his favorite moment from this season was actually his first lap in Belgium. Went from P16 to P5. I think that was when they had the huge pileup, right?
Must have been Joel Gurley.
I remember it.
First one into pits.
That's a bit early.
Interesting,
He maybe broke his wing.
No front wing replacement for the Red Bull driver. If if anything, this is probably one of the most aggressive undercuts I've ever seen.
Yeah, you don't even pit this early on mediums.
Yeah,
Actually,
interesting.
it actually might not be a bad idea when you think about it, Nathan. Because look at this, right? If you pit right at the point where you know these tires can last right to the end, you just need a push. Like, so there's not any managing game you have to do. You basically get off these tires and like, okay, I'm at fresh tires, I'm gonna push really hard, and then I'm gonna get to a window where I know these tires can finish to the end, you know? Like, you know the tire life's gonna reach to the end, so now it's just full push, you know? It's no having
Yeah,
to
only-
manage the undercut, overcut. I think, but the only thing, the problem with this is that Joel now has to deal with traffic. So I think this is the wrong choice for Joel, and Joel possibly just like threw away his top 5.
If he does manage to pass these cars, though, I mean, I think something that could also be kind of possible here is that if he maybe clears his car and isn't too close to the next one, he could be looking at a place where he could be losing all these cars ahead of him in the pits, and he can push as hard as he wants, and maybe, just maybe, he will get in front of the drivers that he needs to pass here, the top 5, as Kenny LaFleur goes into the pits. And he is not changing his front wing, so maybe he's in the same kind of situation Joel Grahn is. Don't really know what their plan is here. I heard possibly that the last couple sections of the race would not be intermediate conditions, but I don't think they drop that quickly, because it is still raining very hard here in Monaco tonight.
Definitely.
We have this quartet here, and NVA has had a huge moment, and Mr. Baby overtakes him into the pits. And not into the pits, sorry, the tunnel. So, third place goes to Mr. Baby right now. It was just a huge moment out of the Portier, and he lost the car and just almost spun it around, but managed to keep it pointing straight, but unfortunately pointing straight behind the Mercedes of Mr. Baby. I've had notification from Max. Expected tire wear about 90% at the end with no tire saving. So I think that is puncture territory. I'm sure it is.
I mean,
But
you could do it. I mean, you can definitely do it. I think there's a world where you can definitely do that. Let's just check. So let's do leader. So Joel's currently 21 seconds behind Ben. I think if Ben started tire saving right now, he could make it to the end and win. I think so. I really think so. If you really, really take care of your tires, I think you can shave off like 5-7%. And when you get into that 75% range, you only have like 10% more to go. I think you can roll the dice and try.
Yeah, I think Joel Graham has just set the fastest lap by quite a bit, maybe by 1 second even. I'm looking through all these times right now. I can't remember who had it last, but all these times look that maybe, just maybe, even through the pits, he could be looking to just maybe undercut them all. I mean, it would be a very aggressive undercut, but it could work for the Red Bull driver. I think it was a good strategy decision so far as it looks, but we'll see just how his tires put up with it here. As just looking at all these drivers here, they're just doing their best, and going a bit deep is NVA, and into the pits goes Ben into Williams, so that frees up Ethan Patel. I don't think Ben has to change his wing, so this is a genuine pit stop here for another set of intermediate tires. Will he come out ahead or behind Joel Grahn? I think he will be quite comfortably ahead of the Red Bull. And even if he is not, then the time penalty for the Red Bull driver will not help him whatsoever. It's going to be very close, and it looks like the Williams driver will stay ahead unless he can get a good exit. Can Joel Grahn, and he goes alongside, and he's passed the leader of the race. So Joel Grahn has had, I think, over a 5-second undercut here. This could genuinely be the move here. So we're looking now to see if Ethan Patel, NVA, John Ranger here, if they all pit, then we'll see where they come out relative to Ben. And it's going to be, I'd say it's going to be kind of 50-50 where they come out ahead or behind. But now, effectively on track after pit stops, Joel Guran will be your race leader. I think Luke might have disappeared, so I will keep on going Mr. Baby into the pits, so we do see him into the pits. We'll see if he comes out behind Ben. I mean, he should because he was behind him before. But just we'll take a look at this gap here in between the Williams driver and the Mercedes driver, as he might actually come out ahead or just right behind. We'll see. Exiting the pits now, the Red Bull and Williams are coming up right behind him, and he's actually been dusted by quite a bit. We'll see if he can gain anything out of this pit exit, and he has. I think he's going side by side with the Williams of Ben, and he stays ahead actually of Ben. So great job from him. I'm seeing that we don't have coverage of any of this. We're just on board with Ethan Patel right now. So I will fill you in on all of the information that is happening in behind. But crucially, Mr. Baby has overcut Ben, and I mean, it's kind of going 50-50 here because Joel Guran undercut and now Mr. Baby's overcut, and they both worked. So now the only option for the top three, of course, is to overcut at this point. But if Joel, Mr. Baby, and Ben just slow down a bit, then I think the order could stay relatively the same. We'll see if anyone goes into the pits from the top three here. Ethan Patel is coming into the pit lane. NVA stays out, John Ranger also staying out. So Ethan Patel might come out behind, actually. We'll see, as Joel Guran and Mr. Baby are running La Rascas now, and Ethan Patel is released from the pits. It's going to be very, very close. We'll see. Joel Guran might just have the edge on the Alpine driver. He's flying past him right now, but the pit lane does help you quite a bit with the advantage, and look how fast Ethan Patel is going. He's ahead of the Red Bull driver, Joel Guran. So the overcut here in Monaco tonight is the correct strategy indeed. I think that is going to be very, very important for the top two to know here. But I mean, I think they already know because they're doing it right now. We'll have to see though, because I was told that the pit lane loss would be around 19 seconds, but right now it looks to be quite a bit less than that. Because all these drivers are, coming out of the pit lane, and they're coming out ahead of the drivers that they're expected to be behind. So that's very good news for people who are going on the undercut here tonight. We'll take a look at the tire here. And people yet to pit are, of course, your top two. Cushy, 43. Aaron, although he did pit on one of the first laps here, he's very far behind, so I don't think that matters. And those are the only people who have not pit in 17 laps time. And the top two do stay out, so I think they are picking up on my messages here with the strategy. NVA and John Ranger. It looks like John Ranger has closed up a bit of time to NVA, but I don't know if it's going to be significant to anything. Joel Guran being held up by the back marker of, I believe that is James. Yes, it is. And he's pulling alongside now, being a very good person. Leo Critus has had a bit of a moment out of the tunnel. He's lost his front wing end plate again. I don't know if he came in to repair it the first time though. And still on board with Ethan Patel, I see. So not a lot of action happening with him. Joel Guran behind him, 1.3 seconds with the time penalty, so he could drop down a couple positions. And John Ranger is actually closing up a lot of time to NVA now, as we have a bit of an incident. Who is this? Did someone maybe scrape the wall? And it's been cleared now off track, but I'll look for damage here. Nothing on the Williams of Ben, I don't think. Nothing on the Mercedes of Mr. Baby, nothing on the Red Bull, nothing on Ethan Patel, so maybe just a fluke of a yellow flag there. I'm not too sure. Not too sure, but whatever's happened, not serious enough. John Ranger losing quite a bit of time now, returning back to around the 3.5 second gap of NVA. I wonder if he did have a moment in one of the chicanes here. We see Kaganis making the pass the lap car of James. Yeah, unfortunately I do not have control of the stream, so it will be stuck on Ethan Patel for quite a moment. I don't know how to help you with that, but I will keep you updated as much as I can. Oh, welcome back. Well, we're just gonna do some general coverage now. I did see that Max saw some of Ethan Patel's lap. I think he's had good enough time. Right now, I was looking at it, kind of John Ranger right now because he's gone from 2.7 seconds gap to the car ahead, and now he's back down to 3.7. So I have no idea what's happening with the car driver. Do you think we could turn on the telemetry here for these drivers here, so we can
Sure.
just see the throttle inputs and everything like that? Because I think it will vary with all these drivers here, and quite a bit. You gotten a bit of a snack, and I would too because this race is quite boring. So get yourself some popcorn and at least pretend that you're having some fun here.
I'm actually having popcorn right now.
I knew it. I could hear the crunch.
Mhm.
But yeah, so NVA and Ranger, the ones in the top two, have stayed out. They've maintained sort of a similar gap as they've had for quite a while now. And I think that they know that the overcut is actually the correct strategy. I don't know if you heard that, Luke, but people who are overcutting here have actually gained time and gained positions.
Didn't I say
from
that?
Oh, I don't know. You said that both could be kind of dodgy situations, but I mean,
Well,
hey,
going on to the dry, I was saying for like the intes, but for the dry scenario, like I said, like I think you remember this now, but I said for those first couple of undercut laps, you're fighting with very cold tires, so you're generally actually losing time on the undercut in Monaco. So like those first couple of laps, you lose about like 2-3 seconds. So actually, it hurts the undercut because you want to be the last one to pit.
fair enough. But we've seen that, so Joe Grant pit, a lot before, as we've both seen. But then Ethan Patel pitted a bit later, and he had probably worse tires than Joel Garan did at like right when he exited the pit lane. But he stayed ahead and he's gained 2 seconds. So I don't know if those laps could be as treacherous as you say, but definitely a bit worse than they would be on normally operating tires here.
Definitely. It's just that undercut window is so hard to do when tires don't really fire up that quickly, right? It's kind of like the problem that's going to happen with 2026, where having not having tire blankets is going to make undercutting weaker, because you're not going to have tires that immediately work. So your softer compounds are just going to fire up. Boom! You're faster. You're gaining time on the person ahead. So this is actually the thing that they're doing in real life, where they're trying to weaken the undercut, and also in the game, where on the wets, the inters are going to be really hard to fire up those first 2 laps, and you're going to lose about, like I said, 2 to 3 seconds. So seems like I've proven it right. The undercut is stronger in the wet.
Gotcha, and still yet to pit John Ranger and NVA, so I'm kind of confused here because it's around 5 seconds over the predicted pit window here, and they are still running strong here.
It might go to the end. Who knows?
It would be a very interesting strategy to see. We did hear from Max that tire wear would be 90% at the end. I'm assuming that's if they continue. And I think while it would definitely be treacherous near the end, we see Ethan Patel definitely gaining lots of time now to John Ranger. I think we could definitely see these 2 drivers to stay out, maybe just, maybe they're on the skin of their teeth, but they're still staying ahead by quite just enough that they need to,
They also might be waiting for a safety car.
Very possible, but we know Monaco, even with increased safety car, we had 2 drivers around with their front wings entirely on the track, but still no safety cars, so it would be quite interesting if we did see a safety car. I think we had a bit of a battle between Aaron and Roberto, but we did miss it. Both
I'm
drivers
watching it.
ghosted. Interesting.
Yeah, both drivers were bumping a bit, so that's interesting.
Yeah, weird that they're both ghosted though. I wonder what is the case with that. Maybe
No, they're
they're
getting
being
lapped.
lapped. Ah, that makes sense now. I mean, they're both very quick drivers. I wouldn't see why they get lapped. Roberto definitely getting a warning through there. Whatever it is, it's definitely not helping them whatsoever. Does still look as treacherous as it did quite a few laps ago. Lap 24:39. And just a couple drivers not pitting yet. And they have gained from it, but now if Ethan Patel can potentially gain a bunch of time in these next 15 laps here. We could be looking maybe even to a race win, as Cushy, no idea what happened here, but Kenil Flair 10-second time penalty for Cornican. I'd have to assume that was at the chicane. But yeah, I did see that he gained a bunch of position, so I have no idea what's happening here with the Mercedes driver. Maybe I have no idea what's going on with this man. Kenil Flair, just an absolute menace. I think he has 13 seconds of penalties now. And yeah, Cushy into the pit lane. He is one of the first drivers that have, we thought were going to stay out to the end. He's the first one to pit out of those 3. So maybe that means that we could see NVA and John Ranger pitting potentially very. Oh, what's happened here?
Mr. Baby just drove
Is
into the
that
wall.
Mr. Baby. Oh, he's lost his front wing end plate.
He did a stroll.
Lance Stroll. Maybe he hits another wall here. I just saw Ben hit another wall as well. Well, that is interesting to say the least. Absolutely flying into a wall, and now he's lost his front wing end plate. Lost a bunch of time as well, lost a position. Not going well for the Mercedes driver. And I just saw Leo Kreitis got a 5-second time penalty for corner cut. I don't know where they're getting all these penalties, because like, even if it'd have to be intentional to get such a penalty. Normally you just get like a warning, maybe 3 seconds, but no, they're getting 10 seconds and 5 seconds out here. So interesting.
Yeah, it's very rare. Since it's kind of getting quiet now, everyone's like at least a second or more like away from each other. I'd like to finish mentioning off some of the things people have like messaged me to say about their favorite moments in D3. Okay, so clearing my throat. Here we go. Leo Critis says, "What's happening, brother? First off, I want to say thank you for streaming our races this season. It's made the season a whole lot better. Thank you, Leo Critics. I appreciate it much. I'm sorry I couldn't be here the whole season, though. I had been busy these Saturdays, but thank you so much. This was a tough season for me. I had a lot of mediocre races, and the races I had pace and positions, I created errors and ruined my potential at racing with the front. But if I had to pick a highlight of the season, I would have to go with Austria. I had tons of battles with great overtakes and defending. Christian and I ran side by side the entire lap during the sprint race, and it was quite thrilling. I'm hoping to have many more battles next season. I will hope to secure the podiums that I miss out on this season. Thank you for the great season." Thank you so much, Leo Critis. You're doing great, man. Keep it up, dude. You were doing really good last season. This season was a bit rough. Keep it up, man. You'll be great for F123. We're going on to Ethan Patel. His favorite moment from this season was last lap of Japan, holding on to the win when it started to rain and we were on slick tires. Yeah, I saw that. I think you remember that as well, Nathan.
Nope.
No, yeah. Near the ending bits of laps, the race went wet, and everyone was on slicks, so they were spinning out. It was really funny.
That sounds very fun and enjoyable.
Oh, I wish something happened like that in my races.
As Ben had an incident into turn 1, doesn't look like he's had any damage. But anyways, go on with all these sentimental moments here.
Simba's favorite moment was, let's see, his highest qualifying, which was in Abu Dhabi, P5 for Simba. I got taken out in turn 1, but improvement is there. I love the positivity. Yeah, improvement's there. P4 in Netherlands, I was so hyped. Yeah, that was a good one for me too, Simba. I was going to Cushy. My favorite moments were meeting Fred's mom. She's a nice lady. 2, jumping off some cliffs. Very interesting. 3, hanging with my boy Fitz and fucking shit up. Very interesting. I think that's it for all the Season 3 guys who messaged me. It was only 5 of them.
Yeah, I mean, Freddie's mom is definitely a nice lady.
Yeah, we've all met her. We're all very familiar with Freddie's mom. She's a very sweet lady. She's very welcoming in her home, especially when Fred's not there. I won't go further than that, but yeah, very nice lady.
On our Patreon, you can figure out more.
Yeah,
penalty for Mr. Baby here. Yeah, of course. So it does look at this point that NVA and John Raja will stay on this tire. Looks like Ethan Patel has gained quite a bit of time on the 2 of them, but I don't think he'll have gained enough. He has his Alpine teammate right ahead of him, He's probably cursing at him. He's like, get out my way. But he hasn't done that yet. But, I mean, Ethan Patel, he is a quick driver here, so he just hits the wall in the tunnel. So maybe I should take that back. It's whatever though. His teammate does get out of the way now. Wouldn't have gained a DRS advantage from him or anything. Definitely not a tow through here anyway. And right now, I mean, NVA, if the result were to stand, then I think he would be very deserving of this win. I mean, he's a quick driver. I can't remember if he won last season. If he did, then yeah, he definitely deserves another win under his belts. John Ranger, also very quick driver. Not quicker than me, of course, but, you know, very quick.
Yeah.
Just letting you know, by the way, momentarily I will have to go make the D2 lobby.
Yep, that
but I
is
will stay
completely fine.
until then.
Besides that, it's gonna get delayed 100% because of sweat. Because there's people reserving. Like there's 4 people reserving from this lobby, so.
Yeah, but one of them's Ethan, so we can take him
Oh
out.
yeah, so you can like abandon him, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But besides that, the race is pretty not interesting. Nothing really is happening. NVA and Ranger still need to technically pit. They could go, you know, all the way. That's not nothing stopping them from doing that, but it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, like Max said, I think 90% is the expected tire wear.
It's doable.
Don't know. Yeah, it's very doable. I don't know if there's any wet patches here that you could drive through to cool down your tires, because it's still very rainy here. So I think right now it will just stay as it is. Steady intermediate conditions. Ethan still gaining a bit of time, but John Ranger is also gaining some time on NVA now. I don't know if it'll be enough time though to maybe make an overtake in the future, especially since it's Monaco. Even if he was within 7/10, I don't know if he can make an overtake in a lap. But he is on the battery quite a bit, John Ranger, and NVA has got quite a lot more battery than the Ferrari driver. You can tell at around 50%, and it's just smooth sailing, literally, for some of these drivers here. I have to say, Monaco is so much better in the night.
It is. I'm kind of glad we run it at the night, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I put up a poll in Division 2 General Chat if we could just have a night race. I would have done it anyway if they had all voted.
Yeah, it would have.
Daytime
I
race,
think no one wants a daytime race. It should
be
I
very
think Monaco
boring.
should be run in the night in real life as well. Like that would be sick, you know? Like it'd be a fantastic night race.
Unfortunately, real people do live in Monaco though, so they could be complaining about the noise.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. What are you trying to say about Singapore?
They can deal with it. I'm pretty sure it's as part of an island as well, so kind of separated from the mainland, but just only barely.
I mean, the F1 cars aren't that noisy. And I mean, if you're living near here, the racetrack, you probably like race cars.
Yeah. Or you just don't pay a lot in rent, and that's why you hear the race cars all the time.
Don't you pay more in rent if you live near the racetrack?
It depends if if it's like you can see the racetrack, but if you can't and you're just like a normal citizen who doesn't like to hear cars all the time when they're trying to get their beauty sleep, because I could see why that would, you know, take down the property prices just a little bit, as we see in green maybe trying to get close to Roberto. But yeah, anyways, back to property prices in Monaco. I think all these buildings that we see that kind of have an outlook onto the track, I think they could be very expensive. But I wonder if maybe you could go to visit Monaco, right? But you don't want to pay for a ticket. So you go into one of those apartment buildings and maybe just pay a small fee to a tenant there in one of the apartment buildings and just say, hey, can I watch the race from your apartment? And boom.
Yeah, or just spend a night there. You know, like.
Yeah. Wonder how many people in Monaco get paid for that.
Quite
Whatever
a few.
it is, it must be quite a few people, huh? All right.
Isn't there like a
so lap
free
30.
hill somewhere?
Hmm?
Like a free hill. Like I know there's a spot where you can sit for free and watch the race.
Yes, unfortunately it is near the pit, like kind of behind the pit lane entrance, so it is one of the most useless spots probably ever.
I mean, for free.
Yeah, for free, it is definitely something you can do to attend a Monaco Grand Prix. Very nice indeed, but I don't know if I'd want to sit there all day.
I mean, how much is a Monaco ticket?
I don't know, more than I can afford for sure. I'd say, well, let me
I'm
look
checking.
this up right now.
Oh yeah, you go ahead.
Okay,
you go
yeah,
ahead.
okay, okay. I got it. 2023, well, on Grandstand or General Admission?
Grandstand. I want a good look. If we're talking about like, I want to sit down and watch it, then Grandstand, yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Tickets 2023 Monaco Grand Prix. Even though it is passed already. Over 1,000 euros. So,
Okay.
yeah, just a little bit of money.
Just a little bit. I won't call that a little bit of money. I would definitely not call that a little bit of money. How much is it to ticket to Monaco?
Like a plane ticket.
Yeah, from like Miami or something. I don't know. Like, where's like a common place in the U.S.?
Well, there is no international airports at
Oh,
Monaco,
is there?
so flying to Nice, yeah, I think.
Oh, okay. So how much is it to fly to France then?
Let me see. I am seeing from.
If it's more than
826
€1,000 to fly to France, then you buy the ticket. But if it's less than €1,000 to fly into France, you don't buy the ticket and you sit in that hill. That's my
800
opinion. 800.
$826. Yeah,
Ooh, that's interesting.
Miami
Ah.
to Nice.
I mean, you're
And
already
Nice is-
spending. You're almost already spending $1,000. What's another $1,000, right?
Yeah, I mean, could be a lot potentially.
I mean, if
D2
you're a
race would be
budgeting,
great.
if you're a budgeting F1 fan, you go to China or you go to Singapore where the tickets are cheap. You know?
Yeah, but then you spend the rest of the day sweating.
I mean,
Sweating like hell.
but you get to go to the F1 race.
Fair enough.
I mean, I just think that. Well, Monaco's the closest to the cars you can get, can you?
Probably. But you could just sign up to be a steward at Monaco and you could stand no more than feet away from an F1 car. You could even touch one if you're lucky.
Yeah, hopefully Leclerc bins it into a wall like he usually does.
Wow, some slander. Interesting. Ethan Patel somehow, with his lack of pace, has gained to less than a second behind John Ranger. I think John is quick enough though. Definitely staying out for the entire duration of the race, NVA and John Ranger. Just go on board with Ethan Patel and have some fun watching him.
Mm-hmm.
See if he bends it while trying to overtake. Who knows? Also, if you do plan to go to Circuit of the Americas for the United States Grand Prix this year, highly recommend it.
Oh, was it good?
Very dusty though, so definitely cover your lemonade. If you spend $7 on the lemonade, just be sure to get a cap for it as well.
$7 on
Hey,
lemonade?
that's generous. That's a very good price at Coda. You could buy, well, I bought a toy Leclerc car for $25, so.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Well, yeah, you know those mini helmets they sell, right?
Yeah.
On the F1 store, $50. You ready for this?
Yeah.
At
Listen.
Coda, $350.
Wow. I mean, it's smart, right? Like, people walk there with cash and, you know, stuff like that.
Yep. Currently wearing.
If I was a thief, I'd go to an F1 event.
Yeah, I mean, there isn't actually too much security there, so definitely take a chance. Don't
Yeah, don't do that.
condone stealing
Yeah,
until
we don't condone
yeah, I don't
stealing.
normally,
ZRL does not condone stealing.
unless we do, of course.
We condone stealing.
Labib's heart.
Yep.
Anyways, some news: D2 will be delayed 15 minutes for the
Oh,
conclusion.
I told you.
Alright, you can say that.
Well, 3 more laps to go. Ranger can hold up Ethan here. And NBA is
I
going to get the win.
Almost certainly a win for NBA. I mean, we go on board with him now, and he's just, you know, very chillaxed out. He's just relaxing, you know, making his way downtown Monaco, of course.
And it's kind of like I
And-
told you, going to the end might just be the strategy here. Because, like, think about it, right? Imagine that massive pit loss time, right? You could just tire save to the end. Like, you don't need to be hard on your tires. Look how easy NBA is. He's literally just driving. He's, like, not doing much. He knows he's just taking care of his tires right now. And again, this is what I'm saying, like, just staying out for the whole race. Very valid strategy. I mean, if Ethan didn't have some mistakes, he might have been ahead of Ranger and behind NBA at this point. But he cannot win this race anymore. Unless he gets past Ranger this lap, he has not won the Grand Prix. And he's been a little bit robbed a bit because, you know, the strategy didn't go his way. But at the same time, Ranger and NBA both have put on their great other strategies, which are working. And Rangers might just needs to stay in the middle of the track. He just needs to hold up Ethan. Like,
Yeah, that's
Ethan will
really it.
not have a chance.
And even so, if he did, where would it be? Because it's definitely not into turn 1 with the pace that we're seeing here. Maybe into Nouvelle Chicane if he's very lucky. I don't think
Yeah,
it'll
but
happen. But
Nouvelle Chicane is
he
like,
hits the wall.
you can't go 2 people there. Like, you die. You know? Ethan getting very close to him. Here's the only
I've-
overtaking spot that's clean, in my opinion.
Yeah, if you can make it side by side. Oh, as Joel Grahn is trying to go down the inside of Ethan Patel, actually. So as we speak
It
here,
gets squeezed.
about it, yeah, and gets absolutely shoved off. He had a time penalty anyway, though, so I don't know if he would have gained too much out of it.
I think he's just trying to make Ethan Patel suffer. Oh yeah, because NBA's gonna win. Yeah, he wants to slow him down.
Yeah.
This is team Red Bull right here. Joel's
Imagine
trying
he
to preserve
drives
his.
down the inside here.
Oh, I was
he
hoping
doesn't.
for it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Ethan really wants to. Really
Oh,
should-
actually, Ethan Patel almost goes down the inside of John Ranger, and now he's completely lost out, and now he's getting attacked by the Red Bull of Joel Grun. I think maybe we see an overtake here into Larasca as he's gotten a better drive as the Red Bull driver. Nope, he is chickened out. But this is creating quite a gap from NVA
Pretty
to
interesting
yeah, no,
race.
we're on, yeah, lap 38 now. Not too much action on track, but the action that we did have is looking quite fancy. Let's go on board with Joel Grun again, because I think he has the most potential of maybe making an overtake. He has motive.
Yeah, and he's definitely faster than Ethan. I think Ethan has damage on his wing. That's why he's going so slow compared to Joel.
Or he's just slow.
I think it's damage because he hit that wall pretty hard.
Oh, as he
A
gets
low
bumped
tap.
a little bit.
Yeah, Ethan's definitely not going to be winning this race anytime soon. And Vay can definitely. Whoa!
Oh,
That was a glitch. That was an actual glitch.
I don't think it was. I
Dude, he
think he
just-
just
No, like
completely stopped the car.
no, his car like got stuck on the like. You'll see it on the YouTube stream after. His car like literally bottomed out, went back up, bottomed out, went back up.
Let me see this. I have the YouTube stream up. Let's
Yeah, go back.
get a live action replay. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
but-
see it now.
It seems like Ranger's going to be getting second place here. I don't see a way that Ethan can get by. You know, especially in the wet, it's pretty hard to dive bomb because you're pretty much guaranteeing shoving the guy into the wall, or even worse, shoving yourself into a wall. Unless he
Yeah,
gets a really
not
good
worth the
drive
penalty.
here, which he does not.
I think we should go on board with NBA for this last one because I don't think Ethan Patel will be too interesting.
But he's really close.
mean,
Though. I really want to see what happens. I'll see if he gets that.
All right. Probably will, honestly. NBA just doing his best though. I'll keep us updated on him. He's really just chilling out. He doesn't look worried at all. He's 6 seconds ahead of John Ranger now. He's He's got absolutely everything to lose and everything to gain. And
Imagine
I
if
think
tire
he's
pops.
that would be incredibly dramatic, and I'd have a David Crofty moment where I'd just be like, "Oh no, look at the state of that Red Bull car."
Yeah, Ethan's
All
getting
right.
really impatient.
Oh,
He's
Ethan, what a
right on the
drive here.
back.
Whoa.
Gets a bit too unhealthy. Joel now has a really good run. Can he make it close to Ethan? Cannot. Yeah, I think Ethan has just sold his chances of getting P2. You have to defend the inside, Ranger. Nope. Ranger did the wrong thing there, Ranger. He should have attacked. He should have defended. There's no way he can go faster
Lucky.
on the outside. Yeah.
Okay, we go on board though with NVA, who's rounding the final corner. Anthony Nodes now. He's coming to the line. He's going down the final straight now, and he's going to be winning the Monaco Grand Prix in Division 3. He's won the season finale. We see the fireworks, and he's produced the fireworks on track tonight, and he's won the Monaco Grand Prix. Ethan Patel now across the line. He's going to be second place for the Alpine team. John Ranger making it past Joel Garan. It wouldn't have mattered anyway if he was behind Joel Garan in P4. Ben, the next driver, quite far behind our top four. He's going to be P5 unless Kenny LaFleur has something to say about it in the last corner. It doesn't look like he will because he does hit the wall. And, oh, I think this is our championship winner, is it not? Beamer NG crossing the line, P7. Winner, the D3 championship, is Beamer NG finishing in 5th place. Our main man of the night. We'll bring him in after all of the main interviews. But great job from Beamer NG across the entire season to win the D3 championship. Wasn't as good as my win, but hey, I'm not biased here. Kenny LaFleur drops down to P10 after who knows what. Kagan is going to be the next to cross the line, and that will be the last man to cross the line because the last 4 drivers are lapped. And well, I must say it was a casual Monaco Grand Prix, not too exciting, not too boring, but hey, it's Monaco, and it's in the wet, it's at night, and we have fireworks, it's all going good. I actually might have lied here, but Berto might be the last one to cross the line. Never mind, maybe it's... okay, there we go. Alright,
Good.
that is the end.
So NVA is your winner. Second place goes to Ethan Patel. Made last lap overtake. Very impressive from him. And John Ranger in 3rd place. Very, very strong drive from the Ferrari driver who made a lot of mistakes. And Beamer NG is your D3 champion. We'll be bringing him in with the rest of his team, if he has any rest of his team with him, to talk about the whole season. So let's bring in John Ranger first. Ranger, my guy. P3 man. Good race. How did you feel?
I'm tired. My rear left was at 95% at last lap.
Wow.
So I'm alive and I'm ready for D2. Hopefully no more rain.
Yeah, I mean, impressive that you got to that position from so far back. Not only that, what made you decide to stay on the outside when Ethan came up to you?
So you kind of what made me stay on the outside when Ethan came on me?
Yeah. Oh, he did what now?
Well, I mean, hey. However, I was just struggling for traction, and I knew he had the run on me, and I was at that point I was just really trying to avoid an incident. I mean, this is Ethan Patel, so I was just giving him the corner.
Shade.
And, Joe Goran was
Shade.
a 3-second time penalty, and he was gonna get by me, so I gave him the position. I grabbed the points, brought that home for Ferrari, did what I could, and that's how I'm gonna end the season. And hopefully, team principals are looking at that and seeing they could bring a rainy race Monaco home with no damage whatsoever, no pitting. So that was a big race for me.
Yeah, you and Envy definitely proved the point that time. Anything else you have to say?
Dude, I'm sweating, man. I've got a rash on my nutsack. I cannot wait to just be done with the Division 2 race.
See.
I've had a load of beer and stuff just before this race, so I'm feeling great. And yeah, thanks for broadcasting this race, guys.
Yeah, no problem, man. Well, thank you for the race. You did great. Congrats. Have a good one, dude.
Uh-huh.
Later, John.
Yep. Now time for Ethan Patel. Hey, Ethan. What's up, man?
I thought I won the race with the pit trap. I
Oh.
genuinely thought I outplayed everyone, got the overcut, and was just on a cruise. But then I saw Ranger and VA staying out longer and longer, and when I did the calculations myself, I thought I would be way into puncture territory.
The inters are really harder to puncture. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but I thought it was gonna be like deep in the 80s when.
No, they were in the 90s, dude.
What the? Okay.
95%.
This game that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
That should.
inters are harder to puncture. I don't know why, but it is. But besides that, you did an amazing race, dude. You can't complain. You did the right strategy. You didn't really know that was possible. It didn't look possible. I mean, even me, I wouldn't have thought that would have been possible. But I think you definitely give yourself a pat on the back for being one of the fastest drivers there next to Ranger. This race.
Quit lying. I think he's being harassed by his brother.
Yeah, I am currently, but yeah, no, it's been an excellent season. I'm sad I couldn't get pole, and then that race was just unfortunate on my end. I thought I gave it everything I could. That wet weather.
And that's what
was
you have to do
treacherous.
sometimes, man. And you did great. I think you'd definitely be proud of this season. You've improved a lot. I can't wait to see what you can do in D3 next season.
Yeah, I'm racing G2 tonight. But yeah, no, thank you all as well for the broadcast. We haven't had one in a while, but stepped up and honestly, great season in D3 so far. Not where I wanted to finish in the standings. I think I was the fastest guy in there, but it just didn't go my way. I look to improve for the next game.
Awesome, dude. Take care.
Yeah.
And now we're having an NVA, my guy. What a strategy call, a drive. I mean, I could say so many things right now.
Man, yeah, that was the most focus I've put in a race in a very long time.
Yeah, I could have told, man. You really put that thing together. You perfected the strategy to the point where I don't think you could have drove any better, to be honest.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Huge shout out to Duncan for the engineering there. But
I think I even called it early on the qualifying that we might see a no stop, or early in the race as well. A no stop was very possible due to the time loss of like 20 seconds, and like you can save tires, during that whole 20 seconds and just sit in front of somebody. And the fact I think the fact that Ranger did it as well made you win because Ranger was holding up Ethan for a little bit. I think he would have caught up to you near the end. I don't know if he would have passed you because I think you would have been more defensive than Ranger. But yeah, I think he would have won anyways.
Yeah, that would have been a battle and a half. I was doing everything I could to save tires in case he did catch up at the end to be able to battle him. But man, that was stressful.
Yeah, man. I mean, big congrats. The season was a very nice one for you with Red Bull. Can't wait to see what you can do with the next game, man.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for streaming.
100%. Take care. Okay, let's bring in our D3 champion. Anon Trivedi, who's not here.
I don't think he can be bothered.
I don't think he's bothered. Well, such is such. If he does not want to be interviewed, he does not need to be interviewed. Besides that, congrats to Envy, congrats to John and Ethan, congrats to everyone for whoever finished the race. Congrats. Congrats to Anand, and we'll see you guys in D2 right after this.